like my game style kind of match both Sentinel and Duelist. It's just that Duelist is inherently more aggressive and whereas Sentinel is not, but I still do the same like reads of the game and stuff like that. It's more so just like I'm allowed to because I'm not an entry.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT America Stage 1 Week 4 this time I'm accompanied by Leaf of G2 Esports, who are coming off of a win over MIBR at the end of, or during Week 4. Leaf, thank you so much once again for another interview so far this season. And yeah, as I said at the start, taking down MIBR, a good way to recover from that super weak loss to Leviathan. Just how are you feeling at this moment in time?
Um, I mean, I think it was a good recovery. I mean, I'm still trusting the process, improving each and every day. I think that game was way too close, in my opinion. Even though it was a stomp on the second map, we kind of got bailed out by hero plays and just bad decision making by MIBR, to be honest with you. And I'm not very happy with it. I mean, I think we showed a lot of resilience, which is very, very good. But we need to be cleaner if we want to be able to make it to playoffs and also win in playoffs because without getting, one of these first seeds, we're not going to be able to have mistakes in playoffs that lead us to like losses.
Yeah, exactly as you said, still up in the air as to the team's potential for the rest of the regular season, also ahead of playoffs. And just a little bit rewinding back into that series against MIBR, you mentioned issues, specifically, throughout the entire series. But what do you think was the biggest issue that you felt the team experienced in that series?
Can you repeat? Sorry, I just zoned out.
Yeah. Biggest issue that you felt you saw in that series against MIBR
Oh,
with G2.
just yeah, overthinking and tunnel visioning a little hard. There were a couple rounds where I feel like we kind of thought like gave them too much credit, or not even that, like just like didn't do what we wanted to do, and we're just thinking too much about them. So it's like I think if we just figure out like a good balance of that, and also just like with more matches, like comes like a less of pressure from being on stage and stuff like that. So I think just yeah, just the pressure combined with, like, the mentality that we had kind of for some of these rounds was, like, the biggest problem, but I think it'll get fixed.
And even so, like as you said, you guys then take it quite to a different notch, a bigger notch at that, in buying. I mean, going in from map one to map two, how did you kind of see the team's general mentality, performance, from that first map up until the second map? How did that kind of switch happen for you guys to just perform so well?
I think we're really comfortable on Bind now. We swapped some things around, and I think that there's not a lot of surprise on Bind. With the Icebox comp, it was a little kind of off. We've never played against it like that, so I think we did a good job of adapting, in time. But yeah, I think Bind was just mainly like confidence based. Like we were just like, all right, like we know this is like what we didn't know what they were gonna play, but no matter what they play, unless it's something like one off. We know what to do against it. So I think it was very easy for us to be confident in it. And the confidence just led to us always having an idea, always having a plan, and never hesitating. And I think that we just capitalized very well.
I know if you don't want to elaborate too much on just the rationale on just changing composition and just putting in, get the agents like Gecko and stuff. I understand, but still, if you want to talk about, what kind of made the switch from just playing, Yoru, KO, Viper, Breach, Fade to just this new composition that we saw against MIBR in that map.
Um, I think it was just comfort and came down to just Gecko is very overpowered. I think that's mainly it.
I perfect. I understand that, and yeah, now I want to take a little bit of a direction from the team now towards yourself. Of course, it's been a quite a good while since I last talked to you, Leaf, from the start or before the start of kickoff and up until now. And of course, various changes happen, not just to the team but also for yourself. Going through a different role, going from duelist to sentinel. Starting off on that front, how have you viewed your performance on Sentinel? Because of course you've been performing very well, finishing so far, within the top five of rating per VLR. So how'd you kind of see your performance in this new role so far?
I mean, I'm always gonna be confident no matter what role I play. I just think that this role helps me be more consistent because of just the way that I play and the way that I think about the game. I mean, you can just tell just based off the Killjoy stats too that I'm very comfortable with that agent. Cypher and Viper a little bit less. I mean, Viper today, I think I played very, very well. Little to no mistakes. I mean, we are just dominating them, so there's not really a chance for me to do much except for just help, and, do my job. So I think I did a very good job of that. Um, I'll just have to play more and more in matches and see what's wrong, but I just feel really confident in it, and I feel like I have the right mindset for it.
Yeah, I talked to Valen a little bit a while ago about just having to make that switch, and he mentioned about how, it's in a way a bit similar to how you usually play in in your duelist role, but more so just taking a little bit of a back seat and just allowing players such as Icy and then Tread and everything else and everyone else to just kind of take a more of a more of a front seat type of thing. And so that's it. How were you able to then translate your playstyle from your past role in being a duelist to now you're working at the Sentinel role?
Um, I mean, part of when I played Duelist was just understanding timings and understanding setups and stuff like that. So it kind of leaned into me playing Sentinel too, because part of Sentinel is lurking and understanding, where people are more commonly going to play and stuff like that. So I think that it helped me, like I said, like my mindset and like my game style kind of match both Sentinel and Duelist. It's just that Duelist is inherently more aggressive and whereas Sentinel is not. But I still do the same like reads of the game and stuff like that. It's more so just like I'm allowed to because I'm not an entry. I'm a supportive agent or a lurk agent, so it's easier for me to take my like individual timings without like hurting the rest of the team.
Do you feel you're better in this new role or in your past role? Out of curiosity.
Um, I mean, I think I'm good at both, but to be honest, I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of am a person that views it based off of like matches and stuff. And it's like in scrims, I've been destroying on Sentinel, but I also destroyed scrims on Duelist and stuff like that too. So it's like it's really just up to my like level in matches and stuff like that. And I think right now I'm playing really good, but I just need more time to see.
Yeah, of course. And now going a little bit back into into the team and just sort of its place in the league. Of course, going 3-2 and getting themselves in a position of almost making playoffs at the time of the recording. Where do you kind of see the current level of this team compared to the rest of the league at this current moment in time? With all of the things that you've been talking about so far in this conversation.
I mean, I think we know that we have what it takes. I think we could beat anybody. I mean, nobody's unbeatable, right? So it just really comes down to our mentality. We have the players to do so. All my teammates are incredible and they really show signs of excellence like everybody does and everybody's smart. So I think it really just comes down to like our mentality. But I think unironically we could beat anybody. We just need more time and we just need more confidence.
Um, I want to take a little bit of a different direction now. Just going over Icy because I've been talking to other of your teammates, so far throughout this stage, and just sort of asking about Icy's progression in the same way that at the same time as they have seen your play on the Sentinel. But now putting the question over to you, how have you seen Icy's, performance? Even today, now, continuing this process from the time he joined.
I think today was like his best day. I think he made a lot of plans. He didn't hesitate as much, which was kind of a problem in the Lev game, in my opinion. But that wasn't just him. Not to direct blame on him or anybody. But yeah, we hesitate sometimes and we're not as confident sometimes. But I think today he was really confident. He's really hitting his shots. He trusted us to help him. Entry or like when we're retaking on ice boxes when he's gecko and stuff like that. So it's like I think we really like helped him get confidence, and I think it's really helpful for our whole team.
Now pivoting over towards the future, one more opponent for this regular season. It's Loud. Sure, they might not be in its best form right now, but still, with the teams as stacked as Loud and all of its players, it's not going to be as easy of a match that one would think it would be. So that said, uh, thoughts, Loud, expectations, all that jazz.
Um, I mean, it's exactly kind of what you said. Like they just have very strong individuals and they have a really good IGL. So I think that you can't count them out. Even if they have like a couple bad weeks and stuff like that, and they had the stuff with the visas, little bit of problems and stuff like that, they could still just come back and just own you. Like, they're very individually gifted. You have Kawazine, Tui's, like Les is literally one of the best players in the world. And then Sadhack also just has like these moments where he's just insane. So I have a lot of respect for them. As competitors and stuff like that. I don't really know them all personally, but, I just know that they are capable of anything, and I think that we'll be very confident against them, but, like, we can't, like, be too, like, overzealous.
Uh, with you talking about, players such as Les and just, highly regarding them with good reason, of course. I wanna ask you this, given the fact that you've been performing well in the league for the past 2 years, I'll be real for that, for Cloud9 and now for this G2 team in a different role. Uh, I just want to know, like, how do you kind of compare yourself, from last year to this year? And on top of that, do you feel like you're one although, I feel that you might be a humble person, which is also a good thing. Do you feel like you're like one of the best players in the league?
I mean, yeah, I definitely do think. I mean, I think that's part of being one of the best players is having confidence, you know what I mean? So, just making sure that, I don't get in over my head and stuff like that. Like, I still treat people, like, kinda the same, obviously, like, no matter what, like, I'm gonna fight somebody if I think I can fight them. It's not like I'm gonna just be scared and tuck and stuff like that, but I just think that, compared to this year, I feel like there's pressure on me, sure, but I don't really feel it because I feel like my role makes it so that no matter what pressure there is, like, I still just do my job and it's very easy. Whereas, like, Duelist and like, Cloud9 last couple of years has just been kind of like sometimes it's hard because I have to rely on, like, not even other people, but it's just, like, I have to rely on so much that isn't in my control when I play Duelist sometimes that it's, like, there are games where you just get absolutely destroyed and you really there's things you could do better, but, like, you don't wanna, like, change your whole entire identity. But I feel like, it's just, like, something that you kinda learn the more you play, and the better you are is that, like, you don't wanna change who you are, maybe you can change little things, but you don't wanna change the general, like, core player that you are, and I think Sentinel helps me not change as much or just, like, not get countered as much.
That said, I really do appreciate you taking the time and just answering all my questions to the best of your abilities, Leaf, one more time. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time during this interview one more time. And yeah, nothing else to say but to say best of luck for next week.
Thank you.